All right, we are now live. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. I'm grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and send blessings to the Holy Prophet Muhammad. May peace and blessings be upon him. I am delighted to welcome all of you today to GMC National Secretariat here in Khairaba Avenue and Pipeline. You are all welcome this warm afternoon. It has always been our practice to interface with the media in order to bring to the fore the fundamental issues that are of vital significance to our nation and to our people. Over the past couple of months, a lot has happened in this country, and in particular recently as well. These are matters of national importance that we must, as a matter of necessity, integrate with the voice of the public, you, who disseminate information, so that we will be in a position to share our views on a number of issues affecting our people. The Gambia is approaching a crossroads. We are approaching an intersection. A fundamental decision has to be made. Are we going for change because we have achieved some modicum of change? Or are we going to consolidate the status quo? So here we have a confrontation between the forces of change and the forces of consolidation. That is the crossroads. And that is where we are. And as a people, we have to make a decision. And we as stakeholders also have an interest. But before delving a little further, I'd like to first indicate that I have been out of the country for a few months, 3 months. And I returned home some 16 days ago. And upon my return, I voluntarily drove myself to Badala Park Hotel, which is currently housing a number of quarantined persons, Gambians and non-Gambians. Because I had transited through specific countries that are COVID-19 impacted. And as a result, it is necessary for me also, in compliance with both local and WHO regulations, to get involved into a quarantine and respect the norms that are applicable to everybody. So I had stayed there for 14, 15 good days. And during this time, I had an opportunity to experience firsthand. I had a front row seat on how it looks like to be under quarantine. And in particular, the tremendous effort that is being made by our frontline workers, the public health workers. The facilities that are available there, I have seen everything firsthand. What government has provided, what is being said outside, and what is exactly happening inside. So today, this is also a matter that should be of interest to everybody, because not everybody has an opportunity to be under quarantine. So I went in and I was tested like everybody else. They did the usual medical examination and whatever is necessary for their laboratories. And I was tested twice. The first test came out negative, meaning I'm as healthy as a fiddle, alhamdulillah. And before exiting, they are also tested. And again, the results came out negative. So I am very confident today that I'm among a number of Gambians who can safely assert that they are COVID-19 free. It was necessary for me to go under this voluntary system because we, as leaders, are advocating that people should go and get tested, people should go and get quarantined. And I was happy that I went through the system for the full length of the period. But while I was there, I observed a lot. I interacted with health workers. I spoke to them. I didn't have much opportunity to interact with other people on quarantine, some 70 or 90, 80 plus at the venue. And I knew the kind of food that they were served, the kind of facilities that are there, and the working conditions of the frontline workers as well. So these are things that will be of interest to you. You want to know about them? We can share them with the world, with the Gambia today. I want to express a special gratitude to our public health workers, especially those on the front line. You have to be on the quarantine to see how these people risk their lives. The long, extremely long hours they put into their work. These people are up very early in the morning and they go to bed very late. But what amazes me is the amount of patriotism they put into their work, the passion I see in their eyes. These people don't get exhausted. And we are in the month of Ramadan. They're constantly on communication, going in and out, looking after the specific interest and welfare of every single person on the quarantine. It will interest you to know that only perhaps during the last week that face masks were provided. When you go on quarantine, the first thing I noticed is when I was taken to my room, where I was isolated, you find nothing there. And some people were picked up from the street, straight to quarantine, with only one shirt or one trouser with them and nothing else. And when you get in your room, I had expected that I would find certain kits there. That is, I would find some face masks, basically slippers, at least for people who just come in like that, you know, and some specific basic necessities. That would be important for a person on the quarantine. But not even a face mask. And I'm saying this. That is my experience. And my experience with others. How do we expect people to be isolated on the quarantine? And they're not even provided with face masks. That is the basic. That is the basic. You expect that to happen. I'm not sure whether authorities are aware, but that is my experience. That is my experience. Fortunately, I had a supply of my own before coming. So I had enough supply to last me for the period. But how many people will have that on the quarantine? Particularly those who are picked up from their homes and communities in the streets and taken to quarantine, who are ill-prepared for it. You want to place people on quarantine and they're exposed. This is a reality. I have witnessed it. But also the frontline health workers, if we do not do something about their welfare, there is growing despondence among them. These people work very long hours and they are paid with pittance. I want to assure you that in my conversation with many of them, some of them even borrow, they go and loan depends. They go and borrow just to go and for their families to be fed. And most of them, 90% of them have not seen their family for 3 weeks or more because they are also quarantined permanently with the quarantine staff. The morale is going down among them. And if we allow this situation to continue, then it is going to be a disaster for the country because these are the people protecting our public today. And that is why I am making an opportunity because I have a voice. I have a voice, and then I want to use this voice to make it clear to the public and to government that we need to focus on their welfare. If the frontline workers are in jeopardy and their interests are not protected, how can they protect the people under their custody? This is a serious situation. It is an indictment that the people who are risking their lives so that our country can live are not properly taken care of. I wonder what happened to the AfriCell 5 million, or is it 12 million rather? Some of them have not been paid. I am using this opportunity in order to publicize their plight. I am not criticizing the government because they are not doing anything. What is of interest to me today is to bring out the plight of the people who are sacrificing for our country, who are paid $2,000, $3,000 a month, and who spend all of their time, day and night, working excess hours, 10, 11, 12 hours a day, working around situations that are very difficult to accept. So I am pleading to Gambia government, the National Assembly, to please look at the welfare of our frontline workers, the public health officials, those who are at the borders, those who are at the quarantine, and those, even the drivers. I use the opportunity to speak to everybody so that I can understand exactly what is at stake, and not just what we are told in the media. It looks nice. And I know my brother, the Minister of Health, is doing a very good job, Dr. Samade. I want to commend him and his team, the director and all that. But we need to come down. We need to come down to the lower level, the people who are actually operating and implementing the system. These are the people we should care most about. The nurses. In the midst of all this, public euphoria and all this media jamboree, these people are forgotten. Their welfare is forgotten behind the scenes. They are suffering. And it is important that this plight be known. Our public health workers deserve better than what they are getting today. They deserve much better than what they are getting. If I were a public health worker, most of them that I see, it's only mere patriotism. But it is easy to give up. So government should increase their incentives, particularly this time. This time that they are on extended hours, long hours, extended hours of work, plus the risk that they are exposed to. And also, there have been a number of people, it has come to my knowledge, a large number of people who are under quarantine, at least where I was quarantined, Padala Park Hotel, who have been picked up from their communities, and many of them are breadwinners. They are the people who take care of their families. They are kept there for 2 weeks, 10 days, of the duration of that period. Meanwhile, the only breadwinners are under quarantine. The families are suffering outside. Government should make provision for everybody who is quarantined. Everybody who is quarantined under the COVID aid program. Every family member, every breadwinner who has a family behind, who is quarantined, to make sure that the family is fully cared for before they come out. Because you don't want to create two problems. You take a breadwinner away from the family on suspicion of being infected. Then you leave the family there, empty. Young girls, young women, you know, the mother and the children in a dilemma. It is not also fair. And this is a situation that should be a priority for the state. So again, I'm appealing to the Gambia government to make sure that they go through the statistics of those who are quarantined today and look at the breadwinners who are there and support their families during this period. Because I'm aware that there are family heads who are under quarantine who have not been provided with a single cup of rice. So I wonder where the aid has gone. But this I can attest to, and I have names and I can prove it, that there are breadwinners who are under quarantine who do not have a single cup of rice behind them, who are more worried about what their families will eat more than infection, the pandemic at the moment. And these are matters also that should come to light. Extremely important. So those who believe that everything is fine and dandy, it is just the opposite. Perhaps it is important for the government also to know that this is the case. But I do understand that there's a feedback system in order to tell them what is happening. So if somebody is quarantined and locked up in a room, in fact, we know of certain young men who were picked up somewhere and they were brought to the quarantine center with just the very clothes that they are wearing. Simple clothes, a number of them. And you don't expect these people to be wearing the same clothes day and night for 14 days, in the same place, and they are confined and locked up. Something has to be done. So if we don't look at the quarantine system, it is going to collapse because people will just rebel and get out of the system. And it almost happened. I witnessed a situation where a number of young people, we are going to round up themselves and say, look, we are getting out of here. We are getting out of here because it is not acceptable. So I can understand a member of parliament before who complained that the mother was not being properly cared for. Because I have seen young people who are saying, we are getting out of here. I am here, this is my 9 days, the same clothes, in and out. It's not acceptable. So we want quarantine people, we have to provide facilities for them. And there's enough money to take care of that. I don't see any reason why it should not. If we should itemize condoms and other things, we can't even itemize basic things like face masks for people under quarantine so that they can find it in their rooms when they get in there. These things really irritate me a lot because it is ultimately the function of government is to take care of the welfare of your citizens. That is the purpose of government. And the government should be introspective. Look at what is impacting your people. It's not just an idea of packing people somewhere else. Suddenly that is not enough. And yes, of course, they are provided with meals. You are given 1 meal a day. In this month of Ramadan, they provide 1 meal a day. And those who are not fasting, you also get 1 meal a day. That is what happens. That is also clear. You are under quarantine in the month of Ramadan, 1 meal a day. That's what you get. It is just an enhanced prison. At least the different thing is you have an opportunity to perhaps watch TV and do something else. Prisoners don't have access to that. But imagine somebody on the quarantine is provided 1 meal a day. And this is reality. I have lived it. Nobody can tell me this. I'm speaking from experience. 1 meal a day. Ramadan. This is also, we need to look at that. Another situation we need to look at. But what is of importance is the people who are facing the risk, public health workers. They need to be looked into. I want government to look into their situation and provide them the incentive that they need, increase their allowance, and pay them. Pay them. That's very important. The GMC has been on the forefront of the COVID campaign. Yeah, gentlemen, ladies of the media, you know we've been providing very practical ideas from day one, from the need to declare a state of emergency to the stimulus that we had championed, worked with, encourage government to do all these things. And we're grateful that government has responded to the voice of the people. And we commend the government for that. We also tell them not to politicize the COVID rise. So far, we have no indication to say that is the case. And we want to thank the authorities, because when they do a good job, we should be honest enough to thank them for it. That is what politics is all about. It's not just about attacking and criticizing. When the government does a good job, you acknowledge it. And then we can do better. That is really the situation. Now, this is suddenly negatively affecting our economy. The economy is suffering tremendously. And it is going to have a long-term impact on all of us. So it is necessary that we are also prepared effectively for the post-pandemic, because it is going to dawn on us. We don't want to come out of this situation, even more exhausted economically. So it is necessary for the government to be on the planning now. It is necessary that the tourism sector is supported. In other words, the bailout that the tourism sector is calling for, I support it very strongly. Small and medium-scale business needs support. Government must work very closely with the Chamber of Commerce to see what best we can do in order to facilitate the restoration of economic activity in the country, so that we can begin to slowly grow the economy and provide the needed jobs for young people, youth employment, but also, to provide a better cushion, a safety net for all those who need it in this country. And I hope that is something that government will. We will continue to engage the government, because we are on the other side. But in order for things to have traction, both sides must work together in the interest of the country. So we do not believe in a situation where we must remain aloof and apart from government, because we are part of this country and we are stakeholders. And the government is answerable to us. So we must work together with the government and offer ideas, put them to account, but also support them if they are on the right path, where we have policy convergence. And that is what GMC is set to do throughout, to engage government on areas that are necessary in the welfare and interest of the country. Essentially, these are the opening remarks that I have done. This press conference is without limitation. You can ask questions and we will answer. The idea here is to elicit as much of matters of interest as possible to the country, and to present a GMC position on the vision that will take our country to the next target. Thank you all. I want to acknowledge the presence of some of my executive members here. Ms. Tida Kijera is here. You also have Fakeba Sise. Suddenly you have Alhaji Alhamdu Conte is here with me. Fatma Kijera. Some of my executive members have managed to make this press conference here. And I want to thank all of them for their presence. They are here with me. They are in the crowd. You've been interacting with them before this period. And I want to thank them for their presence. Now, I just want to make one quick statement. I know that a lot of people cry behind the scenes, and some of these people are the fullest. Unfortunately, are wondering when the Ramadan is going to go. Together with COVID is a bigger problem for you. Kono, what do you say to do? It's not going to be much. Very soon it will finish. And the Mane Kundankas, the Nyanchos, the Sane Kundankas, it's a real problem for you. We know that this is a problem, and I know Bankamani is watching. But don't worry about this. We will soon get out of this Ramadan situation. Thank you very much.
I have a question.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Fatou Samba. I am the Gambian Talents TV. My question is, jamono ji nga xamne president bi sax ñu bari ñu doon criticize bu mu tuké dem Sénégal. Yow may Ahmed Fati dégg ne da nga tukki. Ñu bëggoon xam sa tukki bi, is it a private mission or lan la nekk? Parce que ñu bari ñu ngi criticize bi nga wax ne yaa ngi dem under quarantine. Ñene yaa ngi wax ne da nga bëgg a buzz. Ñene yaa ngi wax ne defuloo li ku dara parce que fu mu nekk ni àddina sa ñuy am meetings or anything lu mu gën a important or lu mu mën a important yëpp then mun nga koo def through the call, mun nga koo def through Zoom, mun nga koo def through other means and other medium. But yow daal da nga bëgg a def buzz comme tey rek ñoo oote press conference lii nga bëggoon a xam naka la gars yi di quarantaine nit yi ñeneen ñi nag ñu ne da ngaa investigate moo tax nga def nu ni mel loolu daal laa la amal mooy benn question soo ko tontoo ba pare rek ma ñëw si beneen
jërëjëf Fatou maa ngi laa gërëm ci sa laajte boobu noonu am na solo lool ndaxte comme li ma daan dégg rek benn kilifa bu mag li mu daan wax mooy fóot buy dem alaxira du ma si yóbbante du tilim fóot bi war a dem alaxira dinaa ko fóot ba mu set wicc dinaa ko fóot ba mu set wicc du ma bàyyi fóot buy dem alaxira ak tilim kat lii la olof Njaay wax benn kilifa wax na ko waaye li ma la bëgg a leeral mooy man soxluma bos ndax su ma bëggee woote press conference anytime mun naa koo def so loolu jaraluma ma tukki ba génne Gambia ñëwaat ma dem quarantine pour mën a woo press conference ndax lii yàgg naa koo def te lii du first time lii moom li ma miin di def la oote press conference rek taxut nga war a def lu risque loolu noonu xanaa loolu moom xel sax mënu koo nangu xalaat boobu moom xel mënu koo nangu second man bi mooy dégg la tukki naa waaye li ma bëgg a leeral mooy balaa Covid bi balaa restriction bi ñëw balaa booda bi tëj dafa fekk man tukki naa bu yàgg restriction bi ñoo wax lii yëpp bu kenn tukki tëj airport loolu yëpp fekk na man tukki naa man ñetti weer nekkuma Gambia day yaan xam ngeen ne kan leen tëj booda bi kan la affaire bi commencé 3 months maa ngi outside Gambia kon lii yëpp dafa fekk man dem naa suma yoon tukki naa ba pare boobu kenn waxagu si dara waaye bi ma nekkee outside si laa doon xeex pour ñu tëj suñu frontière man bokk naa si ñu doon xeex pour mu tëj ñu tëj booda si because si dëkk yi ma nekkoon gis naa ne affaire bi ni mu doon yokkee infection rate bi ak transmission rate bi ni mu doon yokkee so bokkoon naa si ñu doon yokka xeli réew mi nguur gi pour ñu tëj frontière yi loolu defoon naa ko fi yéen ñëpp mun ngeen considéré loolu so li ma bëgg a leeral mais si gàttal bi mooy man balaa ñoo indi all these measures restrictions dafa fekk tukki naa waaw tukki naa bu ma paree nag li ma doon lijjante laajte naa yoon pour mun a ñëw te yàlla yombalal ma yoon bi te bu ma doon jaar ñëw Sénégal laajte naa authorities ndax man dama jaar si yoon dama apply si Sénégalese authorities ne man Gambien la bu mesos yi doon ñëw balaa frontière bi tëj balaa ñoo indi ay face mask ak yu si def all these measures yu ñu doon wax dafa fekk dem naa suma yoon waaye maa ngi nii nag càng naa réew bi te dama bëgg a dellu suma dëkk ama fi benn njëriñ fii waaye nag am naa njëriñ suma réew bëgg naa dellu nag ndax li ma doon lijjante jeex na ma jaar si yoon bi official channel bi bi nag nguuru Sénégal ñu tontu ma ñu nangu accès suma résidence ñu may ma yoon jox ma kayit lu ma mën a autoriser pour ma dugg Gambia noonu laa ñëwee Gambia nag so everything leer na nag nekk ma fi yoon Covid dafa fekk moom tukki naa non non xaaral joxal keneen tam ko ñoom tam ñu ñam nañ ñam si cin bi tuuti waaw yow yow
ok Mohamed Lamin Bojang Mamus Media commanda la deliberation ko no small info wollem ninti mi alon ko no frontline health workers about koleamin takikan ani communal quarantine anu nina ka jibe recently finance minister budget release mi alon ko wolan the expenses of the COVID-19 fund I think I'm voice directly opposite on what is on the paper so it coming for wolan niti ko ngamin faham wolan niti ko finance minister budget is not reflecting
ila fin ko dundi
okay finance minister our budget I may release our expenditure I may release is not reflecting on those on the health front line
nga diamo men volem nyindi ko ndenga men cda ma fo nga kangola mola kadu ndarta jele men bije ngaaje nyaalale kadu ndefon mbaluta kono la je nga men je nyaale la koleal men yalon ko abelari kam nga wo koleal je ngalon ne ko dol be kono fang ika defam so le donto kadu koleal men be kan ika dol bije ika do ika do ku ko to fana keno masakunda do ko kola pour isi soto soto no be la dimbal ma ko la nyami o soto won mumé be bundal be soron dali bi andum nga ko do di masakunda la pour isi feroke na mon min yalon ko lebe na frontline do kulalti ila nafa ila munafa fana soneno nyami pour do ko si soné bu bari be kolé abale ko kono men boda minister of finance ndema long akeda nyamen minister of health and finance tema o mu kulete mi yalon anyanta senior adum be bulala ko no malika senior di bari nsemen fono wala mu safo non doma minister membe marling health la dr samate na doma mo le me mbunya baake semen fono wala aski a hakilo to bake nyin do kulalto asa hakilo to bake ay la ko kiskisi be toro men ko do ko nyin karola e ma koy ka ko sonen di bulula saje be do ko men fana kan mol niwo tankande asu sonen do fanam bul bare ni defo niwo be tukam tale te mo ma koy non wala tinna do ko nyin ko ata bake so ko do men di la finance la deta fono la ko foko do jing fafta de mo fami futere badi ngamen kala moto wala ko be tora bale ko ila jola karola anila incentive la karola be tem moment ngamen kala moto wala mi ko kabe january wuli di dol la adu nyanda ko do men di la sara wala kabe january imam fe sura hani be tew be lori bio men to aman soto folo odo mbe ministry dani la baki masakunda mu mebe yela kolya kol gibe ya sonen debu yes fa
Assalamu alaikum. maa ngi tudd Fatou Fall maa ngi waxee GMC TV honorable Mai Ahmed Fatty dama la bëggoon a laaj comme COVID-19 bii nii su doon dafa fekkoon yow sa nguur like maybe su doon GMC moo doon nguur Gambie bu nekk nii comme feebar bi fekk ni si time bi yow lan nga mënoon a def fu nekk nii pour taxaw ci fii feebar bi nii.
laata boobu neex na ma trop su fekkee ne nguuri GMC la li ma xam ne moom laa doon advice government bi li ma doon advice government bi loolu laa doon def number one xëj na ñun suñu rate bi du doon egga fii suñu infection rate bi du doon egga fii parce que li ñu njëkkaa def mooy biñ dee yéene am na yeneen réew te mu ngi yàq ay bakkan yu bari ñu ngi faatu si buñ ko déggee rek ñun si la ñoo toog si laay toog nag engagé suma cabinet bi te du ma am foofu rek parce que cabinet bi amuñ spécialisation bi ñu fa nekk technicien lañ man affaire yi pandémique ak affaire yi global health situation bi xariñu si noonu kon li ma daan def mooy dinaa doon engage experts yi nga xam ne doomi Gambians lañ ñu nekk si biir réew mi fii ak xëy na sax ñu nekk si biir réew ñu fexe leen indi leen ma toog waxtaan ak ñoom ñu advice ma lan la ñu war a def si situation bu mel nii ndax mosuñ koo expérience although amoon nañ fi Ebola waaye as a government su fekkee ne man la dafa mel suñ government mosuñ koo expérience so lu ñu njëkkaa def mooy dañoo impanel an expert committee technical expert committee yi nga xam ne ñooy toog xool ñu can we have one meeting ñooy toog ñu advice ñu te wax government exactly ñu advice nan la ñu war a def su loolu paree nag dinaa toog ak suma cabinet bi ma invite leen si cabinet bi ni moo noonu ñu substantiate defal ñu présentation ñëpp xam lan la ñu war a def su boobaa nag dinaa génn waxtaan ak réew mi askan bi wax ne la nag Covid bi nag eggagul Gambie waaye mu ngi war a ñëw waaye government bi rek lii lañ leen pareel ak lii mooy suñu matuwaay lii la ñoo def pour aar réew mi yëpp su boobaa nag li ma njëkkaa def mooy dinaa liggéey ak National Assembly bi because after boobu dinaa yónni suma vice président man suma bopp mun naa call National Assembly ñu am extra organisation boo xam ne man maay dem adresse National Assembly bi naa adresse réew mi yëpp wax leen ne lii mooy xew we are facing an existential threat te Gambie amul capacité bi pour ñu mun ko jox frontal attaque su ko defee ma carry the whole government system bi ma carry National Assembly with me ma carry executive with me and su loolu paree ba fay ma waxtaan ak National Assembly wax leen lan mooy suma xalaat moom waxtaan ak ñoom ba d'accord ñoom tam ñu indi seen xalaat ñu seega ko bu baax a baax loolu nag mooy doon suñu blueprint bi su loolu jeexee nag dina fekk National Assembly xam nañu lan lañ soxla nañ xam ne tam lii la government bugga so su boobaa nag dinañ teel a lijjanti affaire yi xaalis because xam naa ne li ñoo jox mooy ñu tëj frontière yi loolu la ñu njëkkaa def we are going to stop flights from coming and close our borders that's the first measure li ñoo def te li ma njëkkaa def mooy jox xaalis Ministry of Interior mooy dëgëral immigration seen capacity pour ñu mun a enforce closure bi parce que pour most of the cases we are having today 70% are all coming from outside which means we are not having community transmissions in Gambia. Most of the cases we are having now that are under quarantine are confirmed are cases that are coming from outside. So loolu la ñu war a njëkk a attaque ñu make sure that we seal our borders and make it difficult for people to come in so that when people come in will be quarantined because we already have a law, Quarantine Act. Quarantine du lu bees because am nañ ko si loi bi ba pare. The second thing li ma jéem a def mooy xam naa ne moom if you lock people down, if you close your frontier, the first thing that is going to suffer mooy the economy. Because Gambia, we have only one neighbor, mooy Sénégal. In and out foofu la moo jógee. Te ñun we are an import dependent country. Lépp lu ñu soxla dañ koo indi. So close frontières yi am na yenn marchandises yoo xam ne ñooñu si frontières yi lañ dee dugal. So yooyu nga war a xam yooyu noonu yooyu nga xam ne they are the things that people need. The next thing nii naka la ñoo dundee si biir réew mi. We think about the food situation of the people. Then you also have to think about security, energy, electricity. lii yëpp ni ñoo def so nañ doon planal yooyu nga xam ne there'll be uninterrupted electricity supply, there'll still be water supply, and then we'll attack the economic impact of these things from day one. loolu la ñoo jéem a def. Then nañ doon assign xaalis, and then we will work up with the international community. Nañ doon expansion alliance with other countries that are already battling this in order to have what is called knowledge sharing. ñu mën a xam ñoom lan mooy seen experience, fan lañ defee mistake ak fan la ñu nekkee di improve ba pare ñu ñëw localize ko. So we give it an objective Gambian solution, local Gambian solution using international experience to help the situation. ba pare nag li ñu soxla mooy also because ñun doomi réew baadoole lañ amuñ xaalis bu bari lu mel ni lii dina bari. Government will provide communities. Government mooy jël xaalisam jënda supply community bu nekk ñu am lu ñoo solo lii ba pare nag work ak business sector bi, business community bi, private sector bi ak philanthropie ñi nga xam ne mën nañoo jàppale nguur gi pour ñu jox ñu ay matériel yi nga xam ne ñoo mën a aar individual bi su ko defee ñu mën a avoid community transmission from one person to another. But if you go to the country, you see nobody is virtually wearing face masks, even though government is loolu la ñoo def mooy bi nañ dëgëral suñu public communication system bi ñu ñoo communique because ñu bari gom nañu lii feebari tubaab la lu ñu African moom black James make black man fat wax yooyu la ñu dégg. So am na lu bari ñu ma mën a wax loo xam ne loolu la ñoo def waaye we are going to have an effective policy on this. There's going to be knowledge sharing. We'll have a panel of experts. Government will listen to the citizens also. We will work with the National Assembly to make this out. And there's going to be coordination in intergovernmental, sectoral coordination in AM. So the whole room. Then I will be talking to the Gambians, periodically on every situation. Lead, Dumako by Minister of Health Kese. Mansma Boba Lee, Law Amnella, Tesla. As the President, I'm going to be the chairperson of this committee. Man, my talk here. I'll be the chairperson of this so that I'm adequately informed at every moment. I'm adequately informed and I'll be serious of the matter myself. That's how I'm going to take it. I'm going to assume the chairmanship of the committee.
Just a follow-up, sir, to what she just asked. Sa ideas are very great. Sa ideas ku waxut ne baax na borom xet na déggul la bu baax waaye ñu ne wax neex na lool gis neen bi nga nekkee Minister of Interior lu bari xew na media bi yaa ngi génn di wax ak media bi but before bi nga nekk Interior Minister ni kon problème yu bari xewoon na waaye génnuloo nga adresse ko comme ni nga ko war a adresse.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Dinaa start with your last question. Foog naa ne xëy na yow da nga Fatou nga tuddee Fatou from Gambian Talent. Foog naa yow dugga bees la. Yow dugga bees nga si media bi. Su fekkee ne doo dugga bees fekkoon nga suma time Interior Minister bi man I was the most accessible minister in the whole cabinet. Te ñëpp xam ne man I was always in the front of the media, the print and TV. ñëpp mun nañoo ñi nekk si media bi time boobu noonu ak ñi nga xam ne su fekkee ne dekkoon nga Gambia di nga xam ne loolu tam amoon na so waaye nag ay daaw ndax dekkoon nga Gambia time boobu noonu soo fi dekkoon tam ndax yaa ngi woon si media o amoon nga interest in public affairs because soo amoon interest in public affairs di nga xamoon ne ministre bi nga xam ne moo doon nekk di wax media bi most si nguur gi yëpp mooy Mai Fatty kon yow foog xëy na nga laaj sa collègue si waaye excuse you dinaa excuse sa ignorance bi because xamuloo ko woon. No, let me finish. Let me answer. The second part bi mooy wax nga affaire yi Haruna Jatta loolu lu am solo la loolu li xew si time yi man maa woon Interior Minister bi waaye dama bëgg a leeral leen because nit ñi dañ dee jaxasoo responsibility Minister of Defence bi ak responsibility Minister of Interior bi man bi ma nekkoon Minister of Interior time boobu la Haruna Jatta am problème yàlla na ko yàlla xiyu àjjana jamono boobu li xewoon diggante la ñoom ak Minister of Defence because they had a problem with the soldiers te si confrontation boobu noonu si la Haruna ñaaka bakkanam Haruna ñaaka doon bakkanam digganteem ak Minister of Interior Forces ñi nekkoon under Minister of Interior ñi nekkoon under mooy the police immigration the fire and rescue services National Drug Law Enforcement Agency of course Gambia Refugee Commission ñi ñoo nekk under Minister of Interior while the soldiers were not under me and ECOMIG was not also under Minister of Interior ba tey nekkuñu under Interior so waa foo ñi problème bu ñu amoon ak ECOMIG bi loolu problème yi Minister of Defence la du woon suma problème naka laa si ñëwee mooy anytime nga am instability si réew mi anytime nga am instability man foofu la suma wàlla am si laa war a step in pour maintain pour restore law and order foofu laa duggee waaye Haruna Jaata ñi ko li ñu waxoon ne ñi tuumal ne ñoom ñoo ko ñoom ñoo ko fetel ñooñu nekkul yoon on the Minister of Interior man suma liggéey bi rek dafa ñëw one part of it the part is to make sure that law and order is restored in Foni and any other part of the country noonu laa ñëwee nag so investigation boobu noonu Minister of Interior Minister of Defence ñoo ko handle man ba tey gisuma report boobu noonu man as ministre fa laa nekkoon man maay woon ministre bi waaye tey nekk naa ministre ba passé gisuma report boobu noonu man te laajte naa ko man tabaxuma ko so report boobu noonu kan moo woon minister of defence bi the president of the Gambia président Barrow mooy ministre moom moo mun a answer question bi man mënuma ko because nekku doon suma responsibility my responsibility was for internal security and internal security forces that was an economic issue outside my jurisdiction my problem was to maintain law and order back in any part of the country where there is instability foofu laa ñëwee nag waaye Haruna Yefam Minister of Interior has nothing to do with it Ministry of Defence la woon président mooy woon Minister of Defence bi report bi ñun defuñ investigation because army bi ak économique bi ak defence bi ñoo defoon investigation bi police bi dañu si génne because ñu ne du suñu area kon ba tey as ministre gisuma report bi teguma ko suma bët te xawma lan moo fa nekk oote naa press conference bi xew bi mu xewee soo nekkoon si réew mi di nga ko doon xam waaw ñëpp tey mooy ne ñen oote naa press conference waaw du loolu kese I went to radio I also went to national TV and spoke to Gambians def naa ko
Okay, Honorable. My name is Alfani Maskamara from the KFAP. There's an allegation currently going on that is quite similar with that of yours from the 7 COVID-19 patients in the Gambia that are currently under quarantine. And they say that they are not also receiving good treatment whilst on quarantine. So in an interview today on KFAP with Dr. Mustafa Vite, the acting director of health services, he said that all the people that are complaining about the way that you are also sounding right now are the ones that doesn't want to be quarantined. Because of what is the most important thing is for them to secure the health system that is in the country. What do you have to react to that statement made by the acting director of health services?
loolu dama delluwaat si li ma waxoon rek man nekkuma fii di tuumal kenn awma interest tuumal kenn lii suma réew la man ku ma xam na ne man ñi fi tuumalaate bokkuma ci te man waxi wax taxaw fi si mboole wax bu amut bokkuma ci ñëpp dégg lañ ma xamee man I speak the truth and I just care about the truth I don't care who's asked is God so wax boobu noonu su fekkee ne loolu la wax moom loolu mooy xalaatam waaye man bi nga xam ne maa ko dunda because moom he didn't go under quarantine waaye man dem naa quarantine te xam naa li fa nekk li ma la wax rek mooy dëgg wax ma ne li mu wax du dëgg waaye man li ma la wax moom mooy dëgg waaw man li ma la wax dëgg la ñu nekk under quarantine man demoon naa I did not complain man complainu ma waxuma awma kenn benn problème foofu noonu waaye maa ngi doon observe pour seet lan moo fa xew te maa ngi doon déglu tam di seet other people how are they affected te loolu moom I don't want to buy that idea idea boobu man jënd ma xëj na am na ñu mel noonu waaye man li ma expérience daal utee naa li mu wax.
Yes, Honorable, my name is Buba Gadiga from Senegal. So,
Buba Buba yembulal de.
alright, so it's like you were under quarantine and you went there, you had first-hand information. So, GMC, how do you intend to work with the government if yes, you are need to work with the government?
On what? This is,
Solve the problem of this.
Buba, thank you very much. What should be clear to every Gambian is quarantine or COVID-19 should not be politicized. Nobody should make politics out of COVID-19. It should not be a weapon to use against the government. Of course, if the government has omissions and missteps, we will point them out. But COVID-19 is about the existence of the country. It's about our public welfare. So all of us should come. This is a time of emergency. It's like the Gambia is at war. We are at war at the moment. We are at war with an enemy who's invisible. So everybody should come together and work with the state. And that is why, if you follow my media interventions, they have always been cooperative. I use the language we, with the government. We have done this, even though we are actually not in the government at the moment. So we have always been responsive to government interventions, and we have always offered ideas, alternative ideas to the state. And that's why, from the beginning, I made a personal plea to the president and asked him to close the borders. And he did close the border. And I pleaded that we should have a stimulus, we should have a package to provide palliatives in order to make living standard for our people. That also has been done. And so many other things.
The health workers. Now you have seen their conditions there, you are not happy with it. GMC, what do you intend to do with them? Are you ready to work with the government?
Of course. Of course, we're ready to work with the government. I'm ready to to share my knowledge, my experience, what I have experienced inside, and I'm going to submit a formal report. I'm going to submit a formal report to the Minister of Health on this matter. And I will also make this report available to the National Assembly, and the media will also have this report. So it is going to contain the sum total of my experience and observations on the quarantine, and with recommendations for the states to do something about it. And we are going to continue to engage the state, in making sure that the frontline workers are properly catered for, and where there are difficulties, we will work with the state to see how we can source some funding for them in order to provide them some. But I also appeal to the business community, the philanthropic community, to do whatever they can to continue to support them. The official has come forward with $12 million, I think. Official has provided $12 million. I want other companies to match official. And this is intended to augment the wages, the pay scale of the COVID-19 workers during the period of the pandemic. That is very impressive, and I want to thank official for it. I don't care what the business motivation may be. The fact is the people are going to be catered for now. Then we can look at the other matters later on. And I want others, telecommunication companies, and other corporations, including government parastatals, to match up this fund that official has provided for the frontline workers. I think that is going to be very supportive in addition to what government is doing. So we also need to cut costs and then tighten the loopholes where the monies are actually bleeding, so that we can corral all those things and then put them to the welfare of the public health system. Thank you. Your name? Yes.
Okay, honorable Mai Fatty, dañ gisoon ne time bu ñu tëjee woon bu feebar bi ñëwee ñu tëj yoon bi dafa fekk yow yaa ngi tukki waaye bi nga ñëwee dañ la waxoon ne dañ bëggoon ku dem teg la benn place yow dañ gisoon ne nangu nga waaye am na ñeneen ñoo xamante ñoom ñu ngi liggéey si nguur gi te bu ñëwee jógee tukki dañ fekkoon ñu tëj yoon bi waaye bu ngeen waxee dañoo dem teg leen benn place pour 14 days nanguwuñu woon so yow lu tax nga nangu nga dem ñu teg la benn place pour 14 days ban jafe-jafe nga fi amoon
ñooñu ñi nga xam ne nangu ñoo dem loolu moom lu doy na waar ndax mënuloo nekk njiit ngay woote dara ba pare di uyoo leneen loolu moom mooy jikko naafeq dëgg-dëgg te loolu war naa dog si réew mi fii. People say one thing and then do something different loolu war naa dog si réew mi loolu war toll nañ foo xam ne waruñoo nangu ay njiit yoo xam ne dañoo wax benn leneen ba pare ñoom système ji xool leneen because Gambien bi moo leen war a interrogate ñu investigate whether what you are speaking, what you are saying is what you are living as a public figure. If there is a discrepancy, then people make their judgment on that, and then a national decision will be made by the population at the appropriate time. waaye man dama xam ne bokk naa si ñu doon woote pour ñu augment quarantine system bi bokk naa si ñu doon woote so man su ma ñëwee liwaa bi nga xam ne man loolu la nguur bi taxawal te man bokk naa si nga xam ne war nañoo déclarer loi si réew mi kon su ma ñëwee war naa nekk exemple ma dem ànd ak loi boobu noonu woon àdduna bi yëpp ne man du ma dara si roon loi bi laa nekk moo tax bi ma ñëwee kenn naatewut ma kenn waxut ma defal dara man maa nangul sama boppa ne comme lii la loi bi wax kon naa ànd ak loi bi rek def ko benn yoon ñëpp xam ne loolu la waaye xam naa ne am na senior officials yoo xam ne ñooñu dañ ñëw dem toog seen kër isolate seen bopp loolu la ñu wax dañ doon toog isolate seen boppa système boobu tam is acceptable in other parts of the world waaye man comme que ñun lu ñu wax weex dunkul la ñu wax waaw ñu mel ni ñun lu ndaw luñ saxate rek ñu ne waa fu mu nekk ni lii la ñu mel ni ñun foog ñu bàyyi suñu xel trop moo tax dem naa si place publique mu nga xam ne government système bi moo ko témoin moo ko witness serende ne jaar naa si xool nañ ma test nañ ma benn yoon ñaari yoon gis nañ man am négatif ma génn système bi loolu la ñëpp war a def ndax lu waa réew mi pour ñëpp la kenn moomul ko comme ni ko suma benn xarit di wax rek kii la ees bàyyi kenn moomul réew mi kon nag ñun ñëpp a ko bokk loi bi ñun ñëpp a ko bokk ñun ñoo ko taxawal fii Mai Fatty nekkoon na minister of interior wax na fi benn wax either you obey the law or be consumed by the law I don't think Mai Fatty would like to be consumed by the laws he set up himself so lii la nag loolu moo tax ma dem ndax kilifa booy woote dara nan la ci fekka nag même buñ la dee dëmb nga nag nañ fekka nag yaa ngi sax benn yax bu rëy sa gémmiñ bi kon loolu moo tax nag bi ma ñëwee nag ma def lu loi bi santaane def ko te lii la ñëpp war a def nag lii la ñëpp war a def.
suma last question bi mooy comme yow ban advice nga am pour government bi because of like jumaa yi jël tëj ko nii. ban advice nga am pour
loolu nag bëgg naa see wax bu baax man si biir njëlbeen bi d'accord ma si woon ñu tëj jumaa yi d'accord ma si te ba tey maa ngi dëgëral ne man loolu ànduma ci te jumaa yi moom ànduma ci de lu waaye neex wax nag maa ko wax lu waaye neex wax jumaa yi waruñu koo tëj waruñoo tëj jumaa yi lu tax waruñoo tëj jumaa yi marché yaa ngi nii fees def demal marché su fekkee ne am nga a strong argument about people should be social distancing and they should protect themselves ku dem marché tey yéen ñëpp ku dem marché anybody who goes to the market xam na ne there is no justification for closing the mosque soo demee marché mu ngi fees teg fi nga teg sa tànka sax fi nga jóge sa doo ko am amul benn contrôle amul benn restriction amul dara waaw sans loi la free la ku waay neex dem fa fu waay jëg jógi there is no people are not even wearing mask and people are there is no social distancing foofu noonu kon su fekkee ne loolu mun naa am te marché bi dañ faa nekk so many hours 4 5 6 7 8 9 hours jàkka yi nga xam ne 5 minutes julli rek la mun nañoo bàyyi nit ñi ñu raxas seen loxo kuy dugga juma ñu meeg soo ne juma bi provide na loolu ku ñëw rek nga raxas sa loxo dugga ñu respect a little bit of distance bi nga def 5 minutes boobu noonu nit ñi pare dem ñibbi seen kër loolu moom war nañ koo def moo taxoon buñ waxee ne bu jumaay tëj man bokkoon naa si ki ñëw si media bi public yi ne leen ne amu leen right pour def loolu except ngeen invoke loi because entering clause la freedom of worship kenn mënu koo restrict su ngeen ko bëggee def you must declare state of emergency then gis lañ gis ne bés boobu noonu di si ngoon boobu noonu président declare state of emergency because you cannot stop people from worshiping it's an entering clause it's lu fundamental la si suñu loi waaye bëgg naa nag nit bi am na yére yoo xam ne people are now easing up on these restrictions so the mosque should be open if the markets are open the mosque should be open if the mosques are closed close the markets because it's the same principle that is there. I went to the market and I've seen people, I was bamboozled, really. There's no restriction whatsoever. Why would you close the mosque then? What is the reason? What is the justification? wax ma lu tax nga war a tëj jumaa yi te yaa ngi bàyyi marché yaa ngi ni ku ne ni yaa ngi tëddante people are even hugging each other and doing everything and it is full of people no measure no control gis nga nguur boo bëggee am fayda soo waxee sa baat bala ngaa wax da nga war a xam li nga war a def loolu moo njëkk a am solo nguur bu am fayda balaa moo gën a wax ni ñuy def leen lii dafa fekk pareel na ko ba pare loolu la war a def soo bëggee ni ñuy dem marché ñu def loolu da ngaa create conditions before you tell people to go to the market between this time and this time waaye copy and paste is not going to go you cannot paste from Senegal and copy from Senegal and paste in Gambia copy from Ghana and paste in Gambia du dox we cannot go on a copy and paste government system du mën a dem waaw di Gambia réew la we have to grow our own system here copy and paste don't work that's why we have the markets are full of people and nobody gives a damn and then the mosques are closed for no good reason I think imams should go back to the imams should go back to the mosque and those imams they are prosecuting they should release them nit ñi dañu war a dellu jàkka nit ñi julli ubbi leen jàkka yi President Barrow open the mosque let people go back to pray yes.
Good afternoon, sir. I am Nidhi Janga from Gambian Talents TV. There are Gambians that are complaining that they are not receiving the donation that is coming from the government. It's like the president is giving it to those who are supporting him, according to what he said. What do you have to say?
loolu de maa ngi koo dara dëgg si yow mënumaa wax ne lu amut ndax loo am xam-xam moom mënuloo ko faydal waaw su fekkee ne seen interview yooyu moo wone ne ñooñu Gambians lañ te loolu lañ wax loolu moom maa ngi koo loolu lu ñaaw la maa ngi koo ñaawlu bu baax a baax maa ngi koo condamn ndax man bokkoon naa si ñëwoon si media bi yéen ñëpp gis ngeen ko ñëw naa media intervention pour wax ne ndimbal bu ñuy jox askan bi nguur bi moomul ko askan bee ko moom ndax seen alal du lee coobari seen coobari boppam ñoo tax ñu génnee ko jox ko li nga xam ne yaa ko moom buñ la ko joxee man day no nii pour ma sant la ndax suma alal nga ma jox boo ma joxee suma alal ma am suma alal lu tax ma war a laa gërëm lu tax nga war a dóor sa dëna defal naa la lii te defalaloo ma dara suma alal nga jox rek nga jënd ay saaku ceeb saaku maalo jox ma ko soo jëndee suma alal indi ma saaku maalo nga expecté ma war laa tàccul pour lan suma mbindaan nga di suma liggéeykat nga di boo jëlee ni pour moo liggéey la nga koo fay mu def liggéey ba pare mu ne waaye war nga maa gërëm pour lan xanaa loolu mooy foofu la def dof em waaw soo nag su fekkee ne loolu am na maa ngi koo ñaawlu bu baax a baax a baax te damaa bëgg yéen media bi fi nekk ngeen gëstu loolu ngeen investigate ndax really whether they are politicizing this matter non because waxoon nañ ne waruñ amuñ benn right pour politicize ko because alal yi réew mi la suñ leen joxee seen alal war nañ koo distribute fairly and justly among the population loolu war nañ koo def su fekkee ne li nga am loolu naa la loolu ma ngi koo ñaawlu bu baax daa am condemning to the worst.
Yeah, politician nga just like si moom question am rek sa gars yi xam naa ne yaa ngi amee
suma yan gaay
sa party members yi ñu bari ñu ngi dëkk si yeneen gox.
waaw
amul kenn ku la wax ne jox nañ ko si maalo yi bu dee am na.
man de waxuma ne jox nañ ne waaye déggaguma kenn ku ma wax ne daal indi nañ fi maalo daal man loolu déggaguma ko waaye nag that doesn't mean ne amut man maa ko yeggagut xëj na jot nañ ko ndax xam nga seen private life la duñ ma wax ne li ñuy dundee honorable hello yes tey government indi nañu maalo xam nga loolu moom du am waaye nag waxuma ne amut waaye déggaguma ko yet yes standard Omar.
I have one question connected to Bubagagi resurrection, and that is with regards to the Gambian government. Because we have, of course, had the president during his first speech about the COVID-19, calling on, of course, the country, CSOs, including, of course, the political parties, to join him in the fight. We have seen in Senegal, for instance, President Macky Sall inviting political leaders at the palace, presidents at the palace, discussing with them the way forward. Were you contacted by the president personally for you to join him and other political parties to discuss the way forward about the COVID-19? And the other question is, your party has been hit, of course, with recent resignations, which include, of course, the resignation of Mr. Sidibe. And we have also recently had a audio about a purported, of course, a member of the GMC who left. In fact, claiming he left because there's a lot of pressure on him from your agents, party agents, during the last elections, who the party refuses to pay, of course, their dues after serving the party during the polls.
Thank you very much. Those are two important questions. On the issue of collaboration or coordination between the government and the opposition forces, I can safely say, from our vantage point of view, that of GMC, that we have not been consulted. We have not been contacted by anyone, whether whoever they may be in government. Nobody had contacted us in order to provide whatever facilitative support or collaboration we can in this national pandemic, which is a national disaster for all of us. I think the practice of President Macky Sall was very commendable. I have also, seen on national television in Senegal, President Macky Sall had invited and received all of the major opposition leaders in his office and consulted them on the situation and what to do to get their ideas. I think it's commendable. I think it's a mark of real statesmanship. And I would like to see the President of the Gambia also involved in such consultative processes. You see, the presidency is not a personal estate. Nobody owns it. It is an office that belongs to everybody. It is the highest office of the land, but it is an office that belongs to the state. And that is why the president, we have given him a home. Nobody has given him a house. But the president is given a place to live. He is given, we give him the appropriate money to feed him. He's not getting our dependence out of his pocket. We give him money to feed him. We also give him money to get him clothes, to give him what to wear, and so many other facilities. We provide this because we want the president to be in a better position so that he can reflect deeper, he can think for all of us, look at our welfare. So a statesman would normally consult his colleagues, or even those who are not on his side. We see even in the United States, Donald Trump, with whom I disagree most of the time, inviting the other side. You would see senators from the other side meeting him. You would see politicians of the contrary view talking to him. This is what the country is about. It is not simply because you don't support my party, or you oppose me, or you say things about me I don't like, so therefore you are excluded. That is a mark of bad leadership. A good leader would listen, would accept criticism, but not only that, would also engage others, because the Gambia is, we are all common stakeholders in an estate called the Gambia. All of us are stakeholders in the Gambia. So it does not mean that because my party may not like what you said, or my party may say things about you that you don't like, so my party is excluded. You keep him at an arm's length. If a leader does that, you do that at your own risk. Because a leader should be able to bring people together, unite people, particularly those who are opposed to you. You should be able to amalgamate all kinds of views. You are the epitome of the nation. You are the father of the country. You are a national symbol. So you should be noble enough, and you should be dignified enough to realize and appreciate that your position is a national position. It is not a partisan position. Of course, propagate a partisan view, but on national matters, you should look at everybody. You are the father of everybody. That is what a president represents, the father of the nation. You cannot be a father of the nation when you are discriminating among your children, or when you don't like your children who don't like you. For example, only pro-government, and those who are opposed to the government, then they can just speak up, and that is the old politics of the Gambia. And all those who play that old politics in leadership are the people we just don't need in this country to lead us. We need a new Gambia that will do things differently, that will incorporate all views and accept all views and be willing to contest these ideas on the public platform. People don't agree with you, you come out and justify yourself. Invite people to a policy debate. Allow people to speak up, come and give you alternative. That is what good leadership is all about. That is what pragmatic leadership is all about. But a vindictive leadership that says, you are not in for me, I punish you. And I punish everybody associated with you. These people who support you, people who don't support you, I'm going to kick them out of my government. I'm going to marginalize them. I'm going to put spies on them to find out who their affiliates are, and I'm going to punish them. That is a Nazi system. That is just the opposite of what the Gambia needs. Because we have fought so hard for 22 years to get rid of just such a system. And we cannot allow a recurrence of such a system to build itself again. So I'm appealing to the president, my friend, President Barrow, to open up to the alternative view also. To open up and be flexible to allow people to see him and speak to him about national affairs. This is good for him, and this is his mandate. Because how did you rule your government? Not only those who support NPP. Because in Yom Al-Qiyamah, President Barrow has 2 million files waiting for him. 2 million files. Malaika Kohar. Every single Gambian has a file. And he has to explain to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala how he dealt with every single Gambian. Not only those who support NPP or those who are telling him nice things in his ears. People like my father telling him wrong things. Well, yalla may wol say wol man la fikule mali bantara masakunda ko na. Hani be masakunda ko na kadu banko mun tele tari mbele tati tam. Amanke dam man tati de. Ibent sirin tele je nke jole. Wodo ni be manage kan. Aman die nyata le ngafo amu kam binano so ko abela do ko wala yesle la binano na. No, so let us be very honest that the president must allow people, to talk to him, people whose views he may not like, but people whose views he need to hear. Because the Gambia government is not Barrow Kunda, it's not Fatih Kunda, it is the Gambia government. And everybody, from the ministers right down to the cleaner, everybody has an entitlement. So I would like to see a more inclusive government, a more collaborative government, a more listening government, and not perpetual denial and rejection of everything that you don't want to hear. And we cannot continue with politics non-stop unless politics. Politics rek du jeex. Mënuloo wax nit ñi ne non-stop politics. Yow sa gars ñu ngi wër dëkk bi yëpp di joxe maalo si suuf di dugal si nit ñi di dem si seen executive di leen jox incentive mbaa di leen tiital pour génne leen foofu. I mean, these are the old politics of the old. We cannot allow that anymore. Fii kenn bàyyi kenn moomut réew mi. And I will echo again Killa is in this. Fii kenn ragalut fii. Kenn mënulu kenn fii. Nobody can threaten anybody fii. Loolu jeex na takk. The new government will not allow anybody to play with him or intimidate him. Nobody is intimidated. Kenn ragalut dara. Loi rek lañ ragal loi. Te ku bëgg a use loi bi nga bëgg a bootu si gannaaw loi bi pour def dara dinañ la feeñal te ñun ñëpp nañ génn. Fii kenn mënal kenn dara. Loi rek moo mënal ñun ñëpp. So lu ñu war a def mooy nañ jéem a fexe ñu mànkoo ñu booloo nekk benn liggéey suñu réew mi loolu la ñu war a am. Waaye ay wax yu sew yi ay gënalante fii ay xiicoo ak ñaayoo ak ñiiroo bi yëpp ñu bàyyi Gambie nag daf ñu war a jaral loolu la ñu war a def fu mu nekk nii ñanta wale ke la ngaaje ko nga ke kilinti bari ndele be semboto mbayi dan la ñu dolla ko ndele be semboto sembolo ala tamu semboto ni bota semboto luwolum isalon ko bota semboto wala ngo ni da si siti kut ye landi tak ñu wala je oto mo si mira ka fa ko ibe men to bi to la ban moto. If I meant to be Jam used to be here. Where is he today? Someday Barrow will go. And any day Barrow is out of power. He is powerless. So he should exercise his power carefully, because someday he will get out. And it is not just how you come to power, but how you exit power is more important than anything else. So ñun dinañ wax dëgg parce que ragaluñ fi kenn réew mi ñoo fi am kon ni ko woykay di woy rek réew mi ñoo ko moom ñoo ko moom kenn ëppale fi kenn ñoo ko moom soo nañ wax dëgg nag kum neex baax na kum naxari nag ah demal jaay ko waaye nag réew mi ñoo ko moom so therefore nañ waxante dëgg réew dañ ko pencoo comme li ko keneen ki wax tam waaye doo ko pàccoo loolu tam dëgg la maa ngi ko dëgëral fii so waxtaan moo am solo ñi nga xam ne ñu ngi si guur gi nañ xam ne moomu réew mi te maa ngi ñëw nag loolu mu maa yóbbu te two things first thing bi mooy affaire yi National Assembly ma ngi ñaawle lool the way ministers sometimes speak to National Assembly members I think it's horrible the National Assembly chamber is the highest chamber in this country foofu la ordinary man bi am voice bi government du dara without National Assembly it is the most important organ of the state most important organ ku fa dem rek ñoom ñoo la you're answerable to the people dafa mel ni gën yi yëpp dañ pencoo benn place ñu ne ñu taajal la pour nga account for them soo fa demee nag da nga war a xam da nga war a yaru am jikko nga décorum nga am jikko yaru because ministers are subservient to the National Assembly amuñ benn responsibility who do they answer to who do ministers answer to only to the president of course to the National Assembly loolu mooy loi bi the president is answerable to the people and the National Assembly ministers I have been a cabinet minister I was a cabinet minister ministers are also answerable to the president to cabinet and the National Assembly so ki nga xam ne yow ki nga xam ne si ron kooku nga nekka mënuloo rëy bi ëpp kooku kon nag maa ngi wax ne ministres yi su ñoo dem National Assembly they should get their facts correct and they should speak the language of decorum mënuloo faa nekk nga ekkati sambaka di wane ne yow yaay minister of what it is wrong loolu is not acceptable man I went before the National Assembly as Minister of Interior I spent 6 hours on my feet toog sax def ma ko 6 hours ma ngi taxaw toog sax def ma ko because of respect for them my language was very civil even though time boobu maa ngi tàngoon torop but my language was very civil because I knew ñii ñooy suma boss ñii ñooy represent askan bi ñooñu naa war a fonk comme ministre bu fa dem na nga leen fonka doo dara doonuloo dara National Assembly moo la ëpp doole fuuf so nag nan dem do not worry whether they are opposition or pro-government it's the institution that must be respected so if there's any engagement from government to the National first is an apology sorry we don't respect the decorum of the National Assembly sorry we don't respect that secondly let us prepare the ground rules Lord that's my position. Yes the other question you talk about Mr. Sidibe yes Mr. Sidibe has resigned but it's very clear Mr. Sidibe def ñu bind he wrote us a letter man bind na office bi wax na ma waxtaan na ak executive bi members from individual members of the waxtaan nañu lu mu ñu wax mooy he is under family pressure the family is pressurizing him because rakam ki mu bokk ndey ak baay mooy Hadrame Sidibe rakam la te kooku cabinet minister la moom mu ngi nekk suma executive member te ñu nekkatuñ ci government bi te gis na ne ñu ngi daaxa nit ñi from government ñi nga xam ne dañ leen suspect opposition lañ te xëy na moom mun nañoo wax ne su fekkee ne moom mooy magam rakam ki mu bokk ndey ak baay te moom mooy mag ji nekk ci opposition bi loolu mooy rakam bi ànd na by implication so dañu ragal mun nañ balaa seen rakam bi ba dañ koo daax liggéey because of politics moom mi nga xam ne mag la te retired mun over 70 years fu mu nekk nii mun naa toog si kër gi bu mu yaaxal soxla rakam loolu mooy mérisme te binta na ma gërëm nañu li ma wax ni mun naa ko proof because it's in writing xam nga wax na ma ko wax na ma ñeneen ñi tam we have witnesses so Sidibe xam nañ lu tax mu resign dafa resign to save his brother's job beneen reason bi mooy maa ngi koy gërëm bu baax te Sidibe li ngeen xamut mooy suma primary school teacher la he taught me in primary one suma teacher la su fekkee ne sax wax na lu rëy suma lu du dëgga ñun li ñu yaree mooy sa teacher dañ ko ormal kilifa la he taught me in primary one he is always my teacher I have great respect for him su demee sax di ma saaga bu dégg bëccëg di ma ko tontu te kilifa la mag la mut na ma bàyyi mag la comme li mu def rek te mag buur la li mu def rek nañ ko bàyyi rek parce que maa ngi ko gërëm trop all his service to GMC li mu def yëpp jàppale na ma te jàppale na parti bi tam dem na we are going to miss him we wish him good luck fu mu di dem rek right am la su demee si beneen parti rek right am na tam waaye na man nag maa ngi koy gërëm suma kilifa la ba tey suma teacher la one sa teacher is always a teacher waaw loolu te keneen ki nga wax kooku xama ko kooku problème boobu amut it's a lie GMC doesn't have problem with anybody who left who you're talking about Gano oh my goodness I don't even want to comment about that one I'm very happy that he has gone to be honest I am extremely happy that gis nga political party kenn du dee daaxa kenn waaye am na ñoo xam ne di nga sant yàlla ñu dem ndax mënoo leen a daax so ñun ñu ngi sant yàlla bu baax ni Gano dem na fu mu ni rek na dem man de kontaan naa dem thank you very much.
Last question.
Sankula, that's about the second to last question.
Yes, sir, you've spoken about how those, the marketing system has not been strengthened there. You're a potential president in this country, and now you're calling for the mosque to be open, which of course you at the same time said COVID-19 is real. Isn't that contradictory?
No, it's not. Let me come there straight. It's not contradictory. You know why? We have more COVID-19 cases in Senegal than Gambia. More. In fact, the number of deaths exceeds the number of total cases we have here in Senegal. But you go to Touba, the biggest mosque in Senegal is open. That's the biggest mosque. It has never been closed. You go to Touba Mosque, Touba. The mosque is open and they perform 5 daily prayers there. It has not, exponentially resulted to a large case in Touba. Touba had only 3 or 4 cases so far. But the mosque is open every day. Every day is open. And Senegal the president has come to the decision that if you allow markets to operate, then the same principles should allow you to operate the mosque also. And that's why President Macky Sall 2 days ago has eased up and allowed people to return back to the mosque. So why would he not do that? Because it's a fallacy. The mosques are open and there is no observation of the public health rules. And you are closing the mosques. The markets are open. What you should do, government should enforce the sanitation process. That is what government should enforce. Make sure people wear masks and people's hands are clean. And that's what applies to the market as well. So when people enter, worshippers come to the mosque, they should wash their hands and then they have their protective gear. They should be allowed to pray. But I tell you, in Touba, it has never, Touba must not take the jacket. Every day they far first the new June. Touba COVID-19. So that is a clear example. So I am going to advocate for the opening of the mosque, but I will continue to emphasize that the public health advices should be enforced. People should continue to wash their hands, and they should continue to protect their nasal and their mouth area. That is what should happen. That's what I'll continue to call for. Yes. Last question.
What's your take on the medication from Madagascar?
I am an African for an African solution. I think we should go in for it. I do not expect that medication to be popular because jógee si tubaab bi te lu jógee si tubaab rek baaxut lépp lu jógee si nit ku ñu daal baaxut pour ñoom man nag ku ma ko jox léegi dinaa ko naan léegi. I support it and I strengthen. I think we should go in for it. And from now onward, it's a lesson. Let us go for African medicine. Our herbs are good. All these medications you have seen all over the world, the basis is African herbs of some sort. So the medication from Madagascar, let us use it. It's our African thing. And do you have dara? Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming, all of you. I'm very grateful.